When people think of bats, there are probably a couple of myths that come to mind, such as blind as a bat, bats suck people's blood, or that bats spread rabies. Well, in this video, I'm going to break down these myths while also providing some general information about bats.
Bats are mammals, and are actually the second largest order of mammals with over 1,000 species. Bats are in the order Chiroptera, which translates to hand wings, and constitute for about 20% of all mammals on Earth, and are the only mammals that have true flight. Bats are able to sustain flight because of their wing anatomy. The arm and wing of the bat has the same bones that make up human arms and hands. There's a humerus, radius and ulna, carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. Then there's a thin layer of skin called the patagium that connects different parts of the bat's body to form a wing. Bats are broken up into two main groups, Megachiroptera and Microchiroptera. Mega is as it sounds, and involves the larger species of bats. They are also less specialized and don't use echolocation. Microchiroptera are the typical bats that people probably think of. These are the smaller species of bats, and they have the ability to use echolocation.
When bats fly, they make small, high-pitched noises, too high for humans to hear. The sound waves travel away from the bat. If they hit something, they will echo or bounce back. From the shape of the echo, the bats know what is in front of them. This is why bats don't crash into things in the dark.
So there are over 1,000 species of bats, and only 3 of them drink blood. The blood that these bats drink are typically from cattle. The bat will make a small cut with their teeth and then lap up the blood with their tongue. A typical meal for a blood-sucking bat is about 1 teaspoon's worth. So about 70% of bats are insectivores, and only 3 species drink blood, which means that the rest of the bats have a different diet. These different diets consist of fruit, nectar, and small vertebrates like lizards or fish. Then there's the myth about all bats being able to spread rabies. Bats aren't inherently carriers of rabies. They're similar to other mammals in that they have to contract the disease before being able to spread it. Also, it turns out that less than 1% of all bats may contract the disease. Some bats form colonies, while other bats are independent. Some species of bats are in the millions, while other species of bats are endangered. An incident from 2008 involving a fungus from Europe brought to America caused white nose syndrome in bats. This syndrome caused a significant decline of over 90% in 4 species of bats, causing many of them to be listed as endangered. Overall, over 250 species of bats are listed as endangered, vulnerable, or near threatened. Bats can be found almost anywhere in the world, except for polar regions and extreme deserts. When winters become harsh, some species of bats will migrate, hibernate, or experience torpor, which is regulated hyperthermia that can last from a few hours to a few months. Mating usually occurs in the late summer and involves a female choosing a mate that seems to be fast and agile. The gestation period of bats can be anywhere from 40 days to 10 months. When the pup is born, it can weigh up to 1/4 the weight of its mother. The mother also hangs upside down as she gives birth, so she has to catch the pup in her wings as it falls. A mother bat will usually only give birth to 1 pup a year, with some bats giving birth to 2 to 3 a year. The pup is born with its eyes closed and with no hair. The mother usually cares after the pup for 2 to 6 months. Mothers will also congregate into maternal groups and help raise the young, while males don't contribute to parenting. Overall, bats are necessary for systems in the environment to function and are important ecologically and economically. Don't be afraid of bats, enjoy their presence.